So... Like a week ago...
Yeah.
Or two, I released that video of me from high school.
Sure.
Dressed as Hitler, or whatever.
You did.
Fans sent us some fan art that we turned into a t-shirt.
Correct.
Of me as a Nazi Hitler.
Well, sort of.
Which seemed like, to me, a bad idea at the time.
Yeah, it was, a little distasteful, but very funny.
Turns out, it was a worse idea than even I could imagine, because a day or so later, an actual Nazi killed a person with a car. So, I'm just saying, we all have ideas that are bad. Not all of us have ideas that are bad that are destroyed by Nazis. I'm just putting this out there.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone ever been more harmed by the actions of a Nazi than we have been and our fans have been in this moment? I think no.
No. We deserve a memorial.
This is more or less tasteful than the shirts.
In an effort to get out in front of it, it should be less.
Well, better luck next time.
La 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 la.
Here we go.
It's the Bible reloaded, logic explosion, like Jesus and Moses, but it's Hugo and Jake. The Bible is jaded, and most of it taken, so get educated with Hugo and Jake. Pull up you and stop what you're doing, it's Bible reloaded time. They call it debated, the theists will hate it, I'm talking to taken, but it's Hugo and Jake. So I'm with the show then, it's not candy coated, it's the Bible reloaded, with Hugo and Jake, with Hugo and Jake.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
And this is the Bible Reloaded. We're back again to continue Jeremiah from where we finished off last week.
We got some good stuff for you. We have a promiscuous donkey. And that's the only thing I can remember because that's the thing that sticks out in my head. Because I'm an adult.
Yeah, and God's a neckbeard. He's treating Israel like a girlfriend that dumped him, and now he's like, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. So, guess today we're gonna continue and find out what God has to say to his ex-girlfriend that it was totally mutual, guys. Has a nation ever changed its gods? Yet they are not gods at all. We talked about this last week. We talked about it, I think, at length, actually.
Yeah.
The fact that nations have, in fact, changed their gods quite often. Interesting, though. It's a weird narcissist thing to continually cover your bases, assuming you're gonna be wrong every time and people are already gonna call you out on things.
Yeah.
So, it's sort of interesting that it's like, has a nation ever changed its gods? Yet they are not gods at all.
Oh, they haven't changed their gods because I'm the only one that exists. So technically, on technicality, that's a W for Big G.
Okay, good
He
for
calls
him.
himself Big G. Does he also have a backlog of tweets that are sort of prophetic?
I think the fact that he would have a Twitter would be in and of itself, but yeah.
Oh, that seems irresponsible for a god to have a Twitter.
Yep. These old jokes. I think Logic probably has a new video.
You could click on it. It's
Probably down there.
yeah, it might be.
Or I don't know what direction.
Isn't it weird? It looks like it says Tard.
Yeah, it does.
It's Tara. Shout out to Logic. That'll not work in about 2 weeks when your feed on this side doesn't have Logic in it.
But my people have exchanged their glorious God for worthless idols. Be appalled by this, you heathens, and shudder in great horror, declares the Lord.
Fucking Sauron!
I feel like this is getting a little sad at this point. I'm just saying, at a certain point, you gotta go, when a person makes threats so often and so consistently, he hasn't followed through in a while. I mean, occasionally they've been invaded, but he hasn't had a good plague in a good couple hundred years. He needs to go in there with the locusts, with the killing of the children, to show them who is boss. That's where God really lost control of this whole project, when he stopped killing everyone's children.
I'm partial to the fire tornadoes.
Fire tornadoes were good. I miss the fire tornadoes. It let you know. That's probably God. This shit, vague, sort of passive-aggressive,
It's almost as if, as they encountered more and more sophisticated cultures, God showed up less and less. Maybe due to outside sources being able to double check. You look skeptical.
I'm gonna throw a third look in. That's my contribution to this episode.
Oh, okay, good. This is going well. How do you keep losing your spot?
I know, I'm not going very far. My people have committed 2 sins. They have forsaken me, the spring of living water, and have dug their own cisterns, broken cisterns that cannot hold water. So it's a metaphor of God being like, they've abandoned me and tried to eke out their own existence on their own. They've forged their own path. But guess what, guys? Your path is shitty. Fuck you, is what he's saying.
Okay. He scolded them for using the free will he gave them.
Yep.
I thought that was a virtue of people. Like, that was a good thing, right? Isn't free will like... Apologists always go like, free will, that's why God's so great, because he gave us free will, he gives us a choice.
Yeah.
But he's mad about the choice.
Right, it's an abusive husband who says to you, you can leave right now, or you can stay here, and then you start to go to the door, and he goes, wrong choice!
Right.
Yeah. Choice isn't a choice if you punish a person for making a choice you disagree with. That's not a choice.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Is Israel a servant, a slave by birth? Why then has he become plunder? Here's the problem with this sentence. It says, is Israel a slave? Is he one from birth?
Yes.
To you,
yeah.
According to you,
right.
You're not mad that they're subservient to someone. You're subservient, they're not subservient to you, and they're being subservient to gods that they have created and idols they have created.
I don't think you said that right, but you said you're subservient to subservient.
You know what I mean. I was saying, he's mad because they're not being subservient to him, not that they're being subservient at all.
Yeah.
So God's the asshole, is the...
Yeah, it's real Mormon of him.
Lions have roared, they have growled at him, and they have laid waste to his land. His towns are burned and deserted. Also, the men of Memphis and Tahapan... I don't know, what is that? Tapanhas?
Toppin', hey, toppin', yes.
Tapas, it's the land of tiny food on tiny plates. They've cracked your skull.
Why did that make me cackle a little?
I don't know. Apparently that was just...
what a good joke. A+.
And the standards, they're gone.
Olives are snacks. Welcome to a tapas bar.
Have you not brought this on yourselves by forsaking the Lord your God when he has led you in the way? Now why go to Egypt to drink water from the Nile? Why go to Assyria to drink water from the Euphrates? Your wickedness will punish you. Your backsliding will rebuke you. Consider then and realize how evil and bitter it is for you when you forsake the Lord your God and have no awe.
Why go to the 2 major rivers in the desert? How dare you?
Yeah, so basically, I would assume this was written by someone who was mad that the Israelites were getting more and more contact with larger civilizations. They weren't being as nomadic, they had settled down, they were probably starting to do more trading and stuff with Egypt and Syria and whatnot. And some of the old guard, I would guess, who are more traditional, were like, hey, we're getting away from our cultural traditions, there's too much cultural appropriation going on. Cultural appropriation isn't a bad thing. It's a very good thing, and society needs it. Anyway,
it's literally coal miners saying don't take the coal jobs when there's no reason for coal anymore.
Okay.
It's the same exact thing. Also, by the way, did you see there's some coal miners that are protesting the solar eclipse? I'm not making that up. Kentuckian coal miners are protesting the actual solar eclipse because, quote, it takes attention away from coal jobs.
That'll teach the planets to stop getting celestial bodies in the way of the other ones. I'm sure they'll look and go, attendance numbers for that celestial event are down.
Right. Oh, and it's because it's in a place that, like, it's going to show up in Kentucky.
I know.
And they're like, yeah, sure, people will come around and put stuff into our economy because they want to see. Like, they'll go eat at the Denny's and stay at the Motel 8.
Okay.
But coal jobs. What? These are the type of people that believe in this book.
The kind of people who think that black people are taking all the welfare, yet they feel entitled to jobs in a very specific industry.
Kill me dead.
Get a new job, Dick.
Get a new job, Dick.
Learn a skill.
Dick.
Talk about penises on the internet.
It really worked out for us.
Long ago you broke off your yoke and tore off your bonds. You said, I will not serve you. Indeed, on every high hill, under every spreading tree, you lay down as a prostitute. So it's literally,
Whoa.
it's God saying to the Israelites, you just fuck any god who comes your way, don't you, you fucking slut? It's legitimately like an ex-boyfriend or
Someone's
I guess,
a little insecure.
Yeah.
Maybe give the dick every once in a while in a way that isn't just self-serving. Sometimes, instead of asking for the blowjob all the time, maybe give a little blowjay.
How do you give a blowjob to all of the Israelites at once?
Well, you just line them up. You don't let them finish, though. You're a god. Why would you? Come on.
Also, I'd like to mention the phrasing here, long ago you broke off your yoke. This is something that I've heard from older Christians, especially, in regard to interracial or interfaith marriages. Have you ever heard the unequally yoked? This is sort of a defense that they would... Unequally yoked is a nice way. Old people will say, don't mix with the blacks,
Or
basically.
the browns.
Or the browns, don't marry them, don't...
Probably not the yellows either.
Yeah, basically, I've
The
heard,
reds.
I've heard it in regard to Protestants not wanting to marry Catholics and vice versa as well. So
Right,
it's,
because they're somehow... they have an inequitable upcoming.
yeah. It's a way dumb old people would try and justify
Right.
their prejudices.
Sure, but I mean, still, what I get out of this is don't bukkake a god. Huh? You jumped right over that one.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I thought that was a little self-evident.
Yeah. Would it even... They're a god. They could just be like...
It's like a non-stick surface deal.
Right.
You can hit them, but
like
it's
a
not...
Teflon.
Yeah.
It's like coming on some Emeril skillets. They're too well seasoned.
Bam. No. I tried.
Emeril jokes are in right now.
2003! Nailed it! I had planted you like a choice vine of sound and reliable stock. I often like to be compared to stock, by the way. How, then, did you turn against me into a corrupt wild vine? Again, you're the person who made them. That's probably a question for some self-reflection, not one you should pose to others.
Also, as a gardener, you're supposed to trim the shit you don't want.
Yeah.
And like the vine will grow how you intended. And also maybe like a lattice or maybe like a one of those tomato cages. That'll work.
Wow, also gardening jokes in this episode.
It's not a gardening, those are gardening tips. That's very different.
Riveting. The stain of your guilt is still before me, declares the sovereign lord. How can you say I am not defiled? I have not run after the Baals. See how you behaved in this valley. Consider what you have done. You are a swift she-camel running here and there, a wild donkey accustomed to the desert, sniffing the wind in her craving, in her heat. Who can resist her? Any males that pursue her need not tire themselves. At mating time they will find her. So if you missed that, God literally just said to the Israelites, you're like a donkey in heat that's sniffing for just male donkey cock, and you just need it, and you just will let anyone fuck you. It's an amazing...
This is two things. Number one, you're calling everybody a slut donkey, which I respect that.
He threw in a brief camel thing.
Also
too,
a camel, but like a real quick one.
Camel, you're like...
It's more quick than fast.
Yeah.
And then number two, that means culturally, fucking slut donkeys were a thing running around the desert, and that was a reference that other people would understand. Oh, slut donkeys.
So every once in a while...
Right, it's like an idiom to them.
Like you'd wake up in the morning, start your Desert Mr. Coffee or whatever.
Desert Mr. Coffee?
You go out of your
desert
tent,
front door.
Whatever, with it. All of a sudden you just see a donkey.
That donkey's getting fucked by another donkey. Donkeys,
Beautiful Tuesday.
Donkeys have bigger cocks than you'd assume. There's pens in your coffee. Hold on. Actually, That's two different sets of Hold on, we need to talk about this. You have two different sets of pliers in your... What's in here that you ply?
There's just tweezers in here.
Okay, those are smaller pliers.
Questions abound for us all. As a thief is disgraced when he is caught, so the people of Israel are disgraced. They, their kings, and their officials, their priests and their prophets, they said to wood, "You are my father," and to stone, "You gave me birth."
What?
They're talking about idols. He's saying you made idols of stone and wood, and you're saying they created you, but I created you.
Gotcha.
They're not actually talking... I mean, they are talking to rocks, but you know what I mean. They don't think that. So.
Okay, so if you're a Christian and you just happen to stumble upon this and you stayed through the Emeril Lagasse jokes, that's how we look at it when you do that, by the way. We think, why are you... What's that dead guy doing? What are you praying to the dead guy for? It's the same thing as these heathens praying to rocks and wood.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
What bugs me about that, too, is talking about, like, they're just idols made of stone and wood or whatever.
Sure.
For, like, the first third of the Bible, after the Israelites become a thing, and some of the writings might have been more contemporary, I'm talking past the first 5 books or so, the ones that are supposed to be written by Moses, the ones that are clearly supposed to be historical record, written long after the fact. Right. Obviously, it's mythical, it's mythicized, but yeah, it's probably based on something. After that, once you get to what I'll call contemporary Old Testament Israelites,
sure.
Again,
they're writing as it happens,
sure, or closer to it, or sure. It's based on, you know, when you get past the overt snake magic, I guess,
sure,
you're still dealing with magic shit. But what I'm saying is, once you get to the point of fucking Ark of the Covenant, God loses all rights to say that other idols are just. Because a lot of the Old Testament, literally, he can only exert force on things in the direct vicinity of the Ark of the Covenant, implying that his residence is within the box, or at the very least it is a conduit.
It almost doesn't imply it, it kind of says it.
Yeah. So, well, the concept of God, and specifically Yahweh, has changed not just from the origins of Judaism to now, even within when it was just a Judaism-centric God, Yahweh, or Jehovah, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, before that, you had Elohim and all sorts of shit.
The concept has changed.
Yep.
So now, in Jeremiah, this God is saying, they're just idols, they're just within these things, they're not real. Remember, at the beginning, that was sort of the MO of Yahweh as well. He was in a box. He was the box was the conduit to his power and ability, and when the Israelites lost that idol, it's an idol, they started losing, implying the incredible cultural significance of this idol to the Israelites at the time.
Right, and also, like, enemies would steal their idol, and they would war over the idol, that being the Ark of the Covenant, because it was so important to them.
Think of your high school stealing your rival team's mascot.
Yeah, well, except, you know, you don't derive power from your mascot, but yes.
Well, I'm thinking from a real world perspective.
Of course, it is very similar.
It's a morale thing.
Yeah.
It's we took your thing that's very important to you.
It's capture the flag.
It's capture the flag. It's bullshit. Isn't it sad that I'm sure this did actually happen and a bunch of people murdered in just brutal ways over this bullshit?
But you know what? Due to the butterfly effect and all of that, we are here now able to talk about their stupidity.
A good thing we wouldn't get into war over stupid, petty, dick-measuring shit.
We would
like
never do such a thing, right?
Right?
Have we beat you over the head with the absurdity of all this yet? No? Alright. Well, stick around. As long as we fucking can.
So I guess that's it. You can always follow us on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
You can all follow Hugo Reloaded. And you
wow.
You could
real confident in that.
Yeah, you could buy shirts that aren't offensive.
Yeah, we do have shirts that are... Seriously, though, I did want to talk about that. I'm not going to cancel it because some people did already buy it.
But
there's not going to be a link down there to the shirt, the, like, Hitler shirt. We're not really going to...
It ended up being uncool, but... you don't know this yet. There is another shirt in the pipeline that I didn't ask for. That you guys will like very much, and it might have something exactly to do with the biracial pastoral bromance.
One of us is in blackface, are we?
No.
Okay,
it's a black guy in his normal skin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's usually how... Yeah, no, it's not racist to depict a person accurately.
It's probably racist if we don't. So
Wouldn't it be is it racist to put him in whiteface?
yes.
Monoracial pastoral bromance? The BPB?
Anyway, that's just fucking Patreon is the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why, if you want
know.
to support this, but go ahead. The live show will be soon. We'll announce it soon.
Yep. What are we doing Friday?
I don't know.
Okay.
It'll be better than this. Asterisk, asterisk.
Our bar is so
Asterisk.
low, I don't know if we can get under it.
Tune in Friday for TBR Limbo. Do 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 do. How shitty can we make the show? Do 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 do. Why the fuck are you still here?
Why are you duding?
It's my Limbo music.
We could change to Windows Movie Maker for an episode. That could be fun. I'd have to go buy a worse camera to make this work.
At this point, if you're still here, this is self-inflicted. Please go see a therapist. Self-harm is not okay.
Yeah.